Good morning, students. This is Abhinay Tripathi. We are discussing these things on Scholar Public School online platform. And my students, in our previous class we have discussed about false statement, how it works step by step continuously. Next, we have talked about jump statement. In jump statement, we have discussed about break statement, that it breaks the execution of the iteration and it will move to the program gets terminated and it will move to the, after countering the break statement, will move to the final state. I have told to read the example, look at the examples. I think so that everyone must have seen the example. Next, jump statement is continuous statement. My dear friends, continuous statement. What is continuous statement? By reading the name only, you can get that point. That then, and continuous statement is nothing but an statement which will continue the program from the beginning. Okay, from the beginning, it will break the flow of the program and will start from the beginning. So let's talk about here. Whenever the continuous statement is encountered inside a loop, control directly jumps to the beginning of the loop for next iteration. Okay, as soon as it encountered the continuous statement inside the loop, the control directly moves to the beginning of the loop. Okay, the start of the loop for next iteration. Next means output. Skipping the execution of the statement inside loop. Okay, skipping the continuity of the statement. Body of for the current iteration. This is useful in case where it may be necessary to continue the loop, but we do not want the rest of the statement. Okay, where it is necessary to continue the statement, but we do not want the rest of the statement should continue over there. After continuous statement in loop body to execute for that particular iteration, the continuous statement is used for that loop in the body where it is not required to be there. You can read over here by looking of the program. You can see that counter equals to 7, counter 1 minus. Okay, continue. You can see in the output that a value is being started. Integer counter is 10. Okay, it should be not greater than equals to 0. Okay, it should be in an increment. Here counter plus is given. So you can see that means it should be in a 0, moving towards 0. Equals to 0, not less than 0 and equals to 0. Means you can see that according to a condition, the counter should move from 10 to 0. You can see that here counter is given about 7, and in the output you can see that 10, 9, 8 is there but no 7. The flow of the loop is from 10 to 0, but instead of 7 over here as an output. You can look the other programs given over here. Use of continuous statement inside for loop. It is in while loop. You can see over there. Look at the program. Let's move for the next statement. Here it is. That is a return statement. Wait, students. Yes. Thank you. The next statement is return statement. Means it will jump again back to return. Okay, it will provide some value. Return is a jump statement. Return is a jump statement usually used at the end of a function or method to terminate. It is usually used at the end of the end of function or method to terminate it with or without return value. With or without return value. Next, the value returned depends on function's declared type. The value will be returned depend upon the functions. Which type of function you provided with there, that declared types. If the function is declared with data types such as integer, float, double, etc., if the function is declared with the value data types like integer, float, double, etc., then it will return same type value by a return statement. Then it will be give same type of value. Means integer, whole number, float, it may occur in a point, double in a minus or plus. The answer will be in a that type only. Any function declared with void data type does not return any value. If the statement is declared with void data types, okay, if it is given the void data types, it will not return any value. You can look over here. Here the statement is declared with boolean t, true, before the before the return statement. Okay, return to caller method. Return is used to call the method. Output the statement won't execute because here we have used void. Okay, if we use void data type, it will not return any value. Next, let's move over here. Nested for loop. Nested for loop means nest means means crow nest or bird nest. That type of nest will there. Numbers of for will be used over here. Java allow loops to be nested. Java allow loops to be nested. That is only one loop can be inside another loop. We can use one loop inside another loop. For each outer loop, the inner loop execute n number of times. For each outer loop, inner loop will execute n number of times until the condition of the inner loop is true. Until it will be true, it will execute the program n number of times. Placing one for loop within the body of another for loop is called nested for loop. Placing one for loop inside the body of another for loop. This is known as nested for loop. एक के अंदर दूसरे को रख देना. When working with nested loops, the outer loop changes only after the inner loop is completely finished or is interrupted. Outer loop will only start its execution after the inner loop is executed or terminated, stopped, using any condition like jump statements, break statements, continue statement, or return statement. If it is encountered over there, then only it will stop. Otherwise, the inner loop, the outer loop, it will not work unless and until the inner loop is terminated or executed. Next one over here. Okay. Next, there is no limit on the number of levels of nesting. For example, we can have one loop inside another loop, which in turn is inside one more loop. Okay, there is no limit for number of nested loops. Okay, levels of nesting. One loop can have two or more than two loops inside it. There could be multiple loops as well as the same level inside one loop. There could be a multiple loop inside one loops. Okay. We can have combination of for and while loop in any order. For inside while, while inside for, or for and while in the same level. We can have for inside while, or while inside for, or while or for in a same level. You can see one loop, two loop, three loop, four loop. This loop will execute or terminate, then 3 will start its execution. Until this loop is executed or terminated, 2 will remain constant. It will start its execution after loop number 3. You can look over the example. You can read over the outputs over here. Okay, and this is the end of your lesson number 1, students. So complete your notebooks, complete the question answers thoroughly by read the chapter properly, and looking over the answer in the books, write down your answers. Okay, thank you. Have a nice day.